Hey guys, what is going on? It is Ando, and we have got another GAC review. So, for those of you guys that have never seen those before, so I stream on Twitch every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday GAC arena matches. Then, like usually Monday, and then some other random days like defense settings sometimes as well. And that's usually around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, for this match here, we had I decided I was going to set my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren on defense, even though I knew that they had a Rey, and so the chances were going to be that they were going to set it on defense. And so this is just sort of the loading screen here. I was probably talking to chat about how nervous I was, and this was going to be the team that we were essentially going to take into this Rey fight. One thing to just clarify is it was a non-ultimate. However, I don't know if I would have lost or anything like that due to an ultimate, because once you kind of get into the fight, and once like Thrawn does his thing, it doesn't really matter if they're like an ultimate or not. It's really just more about like just getting to that point. So here you can see like I selected Rey. I didn't land any debuffs, and I remember like here you see me checking, and I was like, what the heck, I didn't land any there. Okay, so these matches are actually really hard, and I've tried to explain this to people. So that the fin that they had was like over 300 speed, and so I had to bring in like Palpatine to give me extra 16 speed and all this other good stuff to try to boost me up. And the only reason actually why I was able to get to go first, which I think is super crucial in these matches with especially with RH Finn, is because they brought in Zaris, right? They brought in a Jedi, and that gave me another 8 speed, and it just so happened to bump me up right beyond him. And so I think that's why this match ended up so well. I'm not saying they're impossible to win whenever Finn is faster than you, but it's just a lot easier. So, in case you missed it there, I turn meter swap with Traya. Traya then isolates Holdo to make sure that she doesn't taunt, because I want to make sure that I can absolutely always, no matter what, give Rey that two turn fracture basically. And also, kind of going backwards a little bit, I gave Finn the ability block, which means that he can't get his what's it called, inspiration or whatever it is. And I think that's pivotal in this matchup, right? Like I said, I don't know if it's a show breaker, but it definitely makes it easier. So I did another one because I didn't land my basic on Finn this time, and here's where I'm like, okay, we got 12 debuffs, right? And I'm like, okay, we're gonna go for a little bit more. I was like, and she's got a ton of bonus protection, so we're gonna go for more. So I'm trying to figure out who I'm gonna select here, and I'm like, all right, this is it, this is the moment. And so we go for it, and we're pleasantly surprised there. So 420,000. And again, if you guys have missed it, like mine is not modded for speed, or mine is not modded for offense. It is modded for speed. So for those of you guys that probably like have an offense, that would probably be like 600,000 or something. I mean, it'd be something crazy. And I have like 6E mod on him as well. But yeah, like, so you see there, he gets inspired, and that could be like where, again, especially in the beginning, where they all start like, getting, they all start counterattacking, right? With inspired. So I've seen it. And then this is like a really weird thing. I'm not sure what happened there with Zaris. She just decided to go crazy, and then like she killed herself. I don't know. That was super weird. Not sure what the heck that was. So if you guys know, for sure hit up the comment section. And then I'm like, okay, I got to take out Finn here. So that's what we go ahead and do. And luckily we were able to target, we're able to target a lot of Holdo because she's got the isolate. So we thought it was going to be all right doing this. And then I was sitting here. This is at the point right now where I've like, once you killed Rey, I was like, all right, I know I'm going to win this match now. But this is the part where I was like starting to get like crazy hyped, because I was like, dude, we're going to finish this with 70 banners or 60 banners. 70 would be even more amazing. But yeah, like we're going to finish this with 60 banners is what I kept telling chat. And I was like, dude, that's so crazy, because I have a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and I've faced weaker Reys, and I've gotten less banners from that matchup, right? I think I faced a gear like 11 Rey one time, and it still knocked me down to like 52 banners or something. It was insane, man. So I was super hyped. This is where I went and grabbed myself a beer or two, because I was like, my heart was racing at this moment. But it was pretty cool. It was a pretty fun moment to have. So for sure, if you guys are looking for some more moments like that, come out to the streams, man, and it's always a good time. Even if we end up losing, we always have like a fun time. So I ended up taking a Padme team in against this, a Sith Empire team, a Dreven team, and I thought I was like totally in control. All of a sudden, they just like turned on me, man. I don't know what happened, but I sent an Emphas Nest here to clean them out. I don't know why I sent an Emphas Nest. I was just like, okay, well, we can at least underman it and then like get some points back from it. And so this guy also he set a Sith Empire team, but then he put his Malak here with his Nute team. And this is something pretty common that I've seen. People say like, okay, well, this will stop, like a CLS from coming in. I thought about undermanning this too. I just didn't end up doing it. Pretty much everything after this point, I think, though, I undermanned, at least from my recollection, like from what I can remember, at least. But yeah, like it sucks because, a lot of people don't like using gas on offense, and I totally don't blame them, because it's like you see that I'm in total control in this fight, and then I'll end up losing, like, not a lot of banners, but it's like it's enough to where you're like, you sit back and you think like, did I really need Echo in this, and did I need maybe Arc Trooper, right? Could I have done it with just maybe 5s and Rex? I don't know. So but yeah, this was like, it is a move, right? Like if your move is to try to make someone not use CLS, I think like this is a successful way for you to do that. However, I think it just makes Sith Empire, it makes it like the Dreven team so much less powerful, right? I think you can, if I were able to break it up, I would switch out Bastila, and I think that in of itself is probably like the move if you're going to try to split up Sith Empire. I know Bastila obviously makes Dreven very, very good, but I think just in general, I would say like, hey, I would think about Malak being there, because he's so important. I think without a Malak, like you can do like a Jedi Knight Revan can actually go into the fight and win too. Once you get Malak, it gets very, very hairy with that. Okay, so I took in an undermanned Jedi Knight Luke team here. I'm not sure why, honestly. I think this was probably like the toughest team that was still remaining. So I was like, okay, well, we can just underman it. But I mean, I've been very, very impressed with Jedi Knight Luke. I know a lot of people have been kind of asking me like, hey, what's your perception of him? He's really, really good, guys. Like, I think him and Vader. So I'd say that like Jedi Knight Luke is probably more diverse and probably can beat more teams. It just, Vader can beat the team, right? Like, so that's the way I'd kind of like compare the two, right? Like Vader can beat the like premium defensive team to where, so much so to where it's now the point where I think like Kylo Ren has taken over as the defensive team, where it used to be like Rey was kind of like the defensive team. And yeah, like, so Jedi Knight Luke has trouble against a Rey composition, just the way it is. But I think in a lot of other spots, he really shines. I mean, especially having him as a leader, it's kind of weird. So at this point, I'm just really trying to toy around with getting enough protection back and getting some manners back. But I think it's kind of weird because, yeah, a lot of people obviously know that Luke is decent, but I think Vader, has kind of stolen the limelight, and but he's super good. I mean, I've beaten Darth Revan teams with him. Like, you cannot say enough when you reduce everyone's turn meter down to, I think, minus 126. So 126 speed. Everyone now has it on the enemy team, and you got like the likes of Hoda and Shakti, who are usually either 300 or plus 300. Ezra, who can call to assist, and old Ben. So there's a lot of speed. And then, so this is a scoundrel team. I decided to just take in Yoda, Bastila, and Jedi Knight Revan. And we absolutely wiped the floor with them. But, you know, I still think this is a good team. I think the Rogue One part of it was a little bit kind of sketch. But, you know, if you're not lacking some of those scoundrels, like especially L3, or if you put her somewhere else, or if you kind of have, she's kind of got like a lot of uses. So I can understand why, you know, you would need a pre-taunter in there. Okay, so we brought in Farmboy Luke, and I've done this a few times now on stream, and I'm pretty comfortable with it. So the reason why we did that was because, for those of you guys that don't know, Wampa has a healing immunity on his, on one of his moves. So we're totally okay with actually gain. In fact, we want to gain debuffs, and Luke's leadership would suggest that we don't want that with the 45% tenacity. However, you still see they're like landing them like crazy, so it's okay. The thing that I wanted to stop is really the healing immunity. And so I kind of have to decide here how I'm going to play this. And I was like, okay, let's just go ahead and take out Zalbar. But then I was like, we really have to shift, you know, because this is a Gear 13 Wampa, and you know, every single time he's able to do is like, I forgot what the move is called, but basically where he gains 40% offense. Like, that's a lot of offense for him to gain, especially at Gear 13. It can be really, really dangerous. And so I was definitely trying to gun for him like as soon as possible. And so once we get him down, like, I'm like, okay, this is, again, it's easy. Again, we just like spam the AoE. And basically, what your goal is basically to kind of wait it out and then be able to, you know, do your third special like I just tried to do, but I was blinded. So that ended up costing me a banner there because I didn't get the full protection back. But, you know, sometimes I guess it works out better than others. So it was a good blind, I guess, by the AI to do that. And then this is going to be a Darth Malak. I believe it's a pure solo. It's of a like Gear 12 Phasma lead. Very, very honestly, in this matchup, guys, if you guys get like a Gear 12 match like this specific lineup, I would not be afraid to bring in your Emphas Nest. I was really actually kind of not upset, but I was kind of disappointed that I used my Emphas Nest, because this would have been a great spot for her to go in, to show that is possible. Again, the big things for Emphas Nest, if you guys are going to use her there against this team, make sure they don't have a Kylo Ren, because I've seen a lot of times OG Kylo Ren sticks around in this matchup. And then Fox as well. Fox can deal pretty big damage. I would be a little bit hesitant to throw in Fox in that lineup as well. But especially with this right here, there's no real big hitters. I think the only one, there's one that has a stun. It's one of the pilots. I forget which one it was. It's either SF pilot or the TIE pilot. One of them has a stun, but I think as long as you get, like I said, you got some tenacity, I don't think there's gonna be any issue there. And yeah, I think you just ramp up your damage and you just end up like going to town on these guys, just like Malak is here, man. It's pretty crazy. So I got 64 banners there, which was pretty cool. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching that video. Again, I just want to give everyone a big thanks for all the support that we're getting here, on the Twitch streams, in the Discord. The community is growing very, very rapidly, and it's awesome to see. So I thank you guys so much for all that support. You guys are amazing. And if there's anything that you guys would like to see, for sure, hit me up and let me know, because I'd love to, try to help out where I can. And thank you guys so much again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.